Is it possible that the United States government is holding on to money meant for our wounded warriors and the families of our fallen heroes? It's a gut-wrenching question that shouldn't need to be asked, yet it is the cold, hard reality for nearly 1,000 plaintiffs who are currently locked in a battle against a bureaucracy that seems to have forgotten who it serves. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures we can keep bringing you the stories the mainstream media might be ignoring. In November 2017, Chief Petty Officer Kenton Stacy was fighting for his life in Raqqa, Syria. He was a Navy explosives ordnance disposal specialist, clearing the second floor of a hospital that ISIS had turned into a literal death trap. When those explosives detonated, the blast changed everything. Today, Kenton is a quadriplegic, struggling through daily surgeries and the crushing weight of physical and mental trauma. His wife, Lindsay, acts as his primary caregiver while simultaneously raising 4 children, one of whom has cerebral palsy and requires 24/7 care. Their lives are defined by sacrifice, resilience, and an unwavering love for a country that is now, inexplicably, keeping them from the justice they are owed. The source of this injustice is a French cement company called Lafarge. In a move that shocked the world, it was discovered that Lafarge paid over $6 million in bribes to ISIS between 2013 and 2014. They weren't just paying for protection, they were effectively funding the terrorist organization that would go on to maim our soldiers and kill Americans. The cement produced at their Jalabia Factoria facility, bought for hundreds of millions of dollars, literally built the tunnels and bunkers used by terrorists to hide and strike. Earlier this year, a French court finally did what many thought was impossible. They convicted Lafarge of providing material support to a terror group. Their former CEO was sentenced to 6 years in prison. It was a landmark ruling, the first of its kind. And here's where the story turns truly infuriating. Back in 2022, Lafarge settled with the U.S. Department of Justice, paying $777 million into an asset forfeiture fund. That money was specifically meant to compensate the victims of these heinous acts. Yet, despite the funds sitting in a DOJ account since October of 2022, the government has repeatedly refused to distribute it to the very people it was intended for. The excuses are as thin as they are frustrating. For years, the DOJ claimed they couldn't act because the case was pending in French courts. Well, the French court has issued its guilty verdict. Still, the money remains locked away. We are talking about families like Haley Daton's, who was just 15 years old when her father, Chief Petty Officer Scott Dayton, was killed by ISIS. She describes the moment she saw 6 Navy men walk to her front door, hoping beyond hope that her father had come home to surprise her. Instead, she found men with tears in their eyes, bearing the news that would break her family apart forever. This isn't a political debate about policy, this is about moral bankruptcy. The DOJ says they are committed to compensating victims, but their actions tell a very different story. While they drag their feet, veterans like Kenton Stacy are struggling to make ends meet. It feels like these families are being treated as pawns in a high-stakes game that they never asked to play. They gave their sons, their husbands, and their physical mobility for this nation, and yet, the current administration seems content to leave their petitions unresolved. We have to ask, why is the Department of Justice so hesitant to give this money to the people who were literally torn apart by the entities these funds were extracted from? Is it bureaucracy, or is there something else going on behind the scenes that they don't want the public to know? When we talk about supporting our troops, it shouldn't just be a slogan we use on Memorial Day. It should be a standard of action that we hold our government to every single day of the year. These families deserve their day of reckoning, and they deserve the compensation that was promised to them. So, what do you think about this? Does the DOJ have a valid reason for holding these funds, or is this a total failure of the system to protect our own heroes? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to hear your take on this absolute travesty. Justice delayed is justice denied. It is time for the government to step up, make things right, and close this chapter for the families who have already sacrificed more than we can ever imagine. Thank you for watching, and keep standing up for what is right.